we're at this like, level now where we have all the technology going for us. We have all this wisdom, and yet we're fighting over some bullshit.
James Earl Jones, Pulled Pork, Grim Reaper, Charlie Vagina Face.
If you want it, you got it. I hope you keep what I kept. There's a jump that is vital. Hope you leap when I've leapt. Awesome. It's Mr. Wholetime.
Okay.
Damn.
Time doesn't exist, there's more to what we see.
Yeah.
Let's sit down, talk about it, let's just call it P.O.T, P.O.T, yeah. Let's call it P.O.T, P.O.T, yeah. Let's call it P.O.T.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Hey, yo, what's up, P.O.T heads? Got a great episode right here today. I got a talented hip-hop artist in the house. He's also the host of the radio show called Ruse Radio.
Ruse Radio.
So if you can introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, so my name is Ruse. I make hip-hop music, and I host Ruse Radio, a podcast, the best podcast of all time, no offense. The best podcast of all time as voted upon by me and my friends. And yeah, it's a great show. A bunch of comedians come on there. That's mainly what the show is. But really, we're trying to have everybody. So if you're watching this right now, you do anything at all, hit me up. I'm trying to get I just reached out to a hypnotist. Wouldn't that be awesome? A hypnotist on a podcast? I don't know if I'm hypnotizable. That's the problem. I think I'm too much of a skeptic. I think it wouldn't work. So I just had to ask him questions. I'd be like, so how do you do it?
Yeah.
What is the way?
Some people are not able to be hypnotized too.
That's what I mean. And I think I'm one of them. I think I'm too. I just think I don't think you can get me like that. I don't think I work like that.
Right. I don't know if I buy into it right away. I mean, there probably is some sort of
you can get me on something?
like telekinesis power that people do have probably,
it's real. No, it's real.
But,
there is hypnosis. I just don't know if you could get me. Exactly. You're probably the same as me. You probably see people do it, and you're this got to be fake, because that would never happen. Plus, but I think people just don't think like us, and that's why, because we see it, and we're like, well, you couldn't. But when you hear people talk about hypnosis, they're always like, oh, I was on stage and I remember doing all those things. It's not like they're in this separate reality where they can't remember it. They just, for some reason, they say yes to everything and they just go along with it. It's weird. It's like I overrode your mind right now, and I was just looking at you really hardcore.
Right. Well, that's what it is pretty much. Is like there's a power within how people control other people, and and some people, they right away, yes, and it's easier. Most people,
and that's the interesting thing about it. That's why I would want to talk to somebody like that, because I think that's really interesting.
And I think the main thing of it is attention.
Yeah, right.
If a hypnotist could retain your attention for a specific amount of time, and like I said, there's probably something else within the mind that's happening, that they are probably sending some type of frequency, and some people have a lower frequency where that would work on them, or some people don't have that. That's my theory.
With what you just said, though, with that being said, wouldn't you agree then that with most performance art, that is essentially what is happening when it is done the best
properly?
Yeah, it's a form of hypnosis where I'm sending you a message that isn't even necessarily the music I'm doing or the comedy I'm doing or the art I'm doing. It's something underneath that you identify with and you take with you,
and it just connects in a certain way, and it's like the waves are coming at you, the information is coming really smooth, or whatever it is.
So maybe that's how you hypnotize us. You just put it in a rap song.
Right. Speaking of which, how long you been doing music?
Oh, that's what I've been doing the longest. So 13 years. And what I wanted to say too is how we just got off track and started talking like that. That's the reason I started doing a podcast, because I just realized I have this problem. I can just get people going.
Yeah.
That's why. And I noticed comedians are easy to do that with. They want to just rattle off the worst things. They want to keep going. But also rap music, 13 years. I fell into love with rap because I think rap is one of old school hip hop, especially the mentality of being an MC and the mentality of representing you and representing what you can say, and also the way that you can use words to do things that you couldn't otherwise do. You can do a lot of representing yourself through any genre, but the way that you can throw words around and really play with things and you can make people think so quick. I think there's just so much you can do with hip hop, and it's always drawn me. I've always realized what I can do with it, and I think like I just think it's so cool, and to the point where I get triggered when I feel like people are like disparaging that. And I'm like, I know there's a million. I think it's just like that's not hip hop, and there's rap, and there's a million kinds of rap. But when I think hip hop, I'm thinking like old school MC.
Right,
like,
right.
I'm trying to
like
be
the, the word, like, to me, is about lyrics. It's everything, but like it goes back to the hypnosis thing, right?
Yes, right. Yeah,
Those,
absolutely.
like the right lyrics will have you hypnotized for
Yes.
sure.
No, but that's
And
it.
like-
That's exactly it. Because if I can transmit to you purely through me what like I'm feeling through those lyrics, that is me hypnotizing you. Yeah, and that's me doing it through me. Like when people have all these writers, or when it's a whole kind of separate thing where it's not so much about you, it's about a brand or it's about something else.
Exactly,
It's
right,
not
right,
really
right.
hip hop anymore.
Exactly, right.
It's not even really so much
Well,
music. It kind of becomes this weird other
it's
thing.
like a commercial type thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but in music form.
yeah.
You know? So
and then you got those industry plans.
well, that goes back to like underground, because like to me the craziest hip hop is usually on the underground, right? And
Yeah.
like, because when I heard your music, I was like, oh shit. And what I like about your music is like you work with your voice really well. Like like the way you use your voice on your songs, like ooh.
Well, and you know what's cool is like I don't do those things like that intentionally. So I think it's cool when people say things like that, because I think like I think what I'm doing is when I hear a beat, because sometimes I'll even write it and I'll have a different like way of rapping it when I wrote it, and then I say to all rappers, like, record in your own studio if you can. Like, make your own way to do it if you can. Even just to get, like, prototypes out for songs.
Right.
But, like, it was through doing that where a lot of the time you'll get, like, a different voice. There's one in particular. It's, like, one of my most viral things I've ever made. And it was the Dag Nabbit thing where... Have you seen this? So it's on... TikTok, it's got like 600,000 views, something like that. It's on Instagram, it's got a decent amount. I don't know what it is. TikTok's where it's the most. And I wish the guy, his name is Zepp, and it's like a beat of him drumming with a basketball. He's doing both at once, and he's dribbling a basketball and drumming and making a beat out of it.
Oh, shit.
And then that was the whole video, and it's cool, but it sounds like a 90s rap-esque thing. And so then... I saw that, and this was at a point where I would like take a bunch of stuff on TikTok and I would remix it and do a verse over it or something like that. So, and there were people, I don't know if this is still a thing, but it would be like open verse challenges, and you'd see that a lot. Where
Yeah, I've
would-
done those.
Yeah,
I did one.
I can't. I feel like I shouldn't do them anymore, just because I'm like squandering so much good material. But like really, they're fun because it is like basically someone just letting you rap on their song. So and it's a fun challenge. That's what I like about it. There's a tone they're providing you. You get to work with the context. Go.
It's just
That's
like
fun.
exercise. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
but this is like something that wasn't even that. It was just him posting a song. So he never gave me permission to actually release it, which is such a bummer because it would have done so well. But anyway, the whole point being that when I wrote that, I wrote it as like an old school type thing. Like I just wrote it thinking, okay, I'm probably gonna rap it like spit that shit that make your mouth dribble, drop that shit that make the like that, right?
Right.
And then maybe like a Slim Shady type thing. But then when I had the headphones on and I'm rapping it, I go spit that shit that make your mouth dribble, drop that shit that make the ground wiggle. I'm so hot to make the I'm so sick to make whatever the fuck I say. House wiggle, I'm an old school OG. Hear the sound ripple, it's mathematic. I slap the black back to past status. Know the whack with blast past your whack habits. Kodak, photograph that, Jackrabbit. No cap, a satisfact like Dag Nabbit. Back to bankroll. Tank so fat, great straight gas to say so. They know that. Dates back to day O. The breakneck back, hate that to make mo. It's Ruse. I haven't watched that in a while. But yeah, it was like the Danny Brown-esque thing.
But see what I'm saying though, like
and it sells the old school thing.
But
it makes that whole thing work.
Like let's just look at that real quick, right? So the difference of the voices, right?
Yeah.
Realizing that, and then the cadence that you put into it, that do and that little do rhythm, and if you are listening to that and then you into it, you're like, oh, now I'm in. And
Yeah.
again, you know, so
And you got to do that all the time. Like, you can't just stick with one thing. Like, I think, like, social media in particular, it trains people to kind of, like, think, oh, I have to find a niche and then stick with that. I have to find a thing that people like me for and then stick with that. And that's what any industry person would tell you is, oh, they
Yeah.
like you for this. Don't.
do what's hot right now.
Yeah.
Copy that.
Which I think is the absolute wrong advice. Which
I-
like, most of the good, most creative things, like the most creative things you'll see are always people like just following their intuitions and doing something. I think like if that's what gets you popular, then keep doing that. Don't do the thing that made you popular.
Yeah,
And so like it's just you
you gotta do what your heart tells you.
Always
you know
switch it
what I'm
up, right? Like always don't like write the same song 10 times. Don't write the same song 20 times. Like always try to kind of like find a new way to challenge yourself because that's
Yeah.
where you'll find new things.
Who were you listening to like coming up?
It's so fun. Coming up is a good question because I really don't listen to much music all the time. But like I would say coming up, probably a whole lot of. I heard a lot of Eminem. I heard my brother listening to ICP. What else did I hear? I heard Watsky in like 2013 to like 2015. A lot of Watsky, like a lot of Wax, I think I heard around that time because him and Watsky were doing stuff together. I'm trying to think of rappers, like Epic Rap Battles of History. Shout out that. I heard that on the come up. But yeah, just probably like a bunch of shit like that. Like that's a Mac Miller I never really got into until way late, which is funny because I think a lot of stuff that I do is similar to the stuff that he does.
I was sleeping on his music until
Yeah.
one of my guys was like, "Hey, check this song out." And I'm like, "Oh shit, he snapped!" And like, "Hey, he made that too. He made
he's
the beat."
amazing.
Like, oh no, damn, he snapped. Like,
You know what
he
blows
was,
my
like,
mind is
overall-
Eminem made a lot of beats. I never knew that Eminem was really
well,
even a
yeah,
producer
he did.
like that.
He was in there with working with him, but
But did he produce
some of
them
his
himself?
albums, I think that he did.
I thought he did. Like I
Yeah.
thought I heard that like Eminem would produce beats like sole producer credit. Like it
Yeah,
was just
Eminem got the craziest freestyles. I used to listen to his like old tapes.
People sleep on Eminem
man.
now. People sleep on Eminem now because they don't know what Eminem really was.
Yeah,
you know,
like-
and it's kind of a shame because like I think it's partially like Eminem can't even really escape it. It's just kind of like if you do music for a really long time, he can't be Slim Shady. He can't to the point where he even made an album now called Death of Slim Shady because it's like that character doesn't work the same way. It doesn't play out the same way.
Yeah, it's not gonna live throughout all the different eras or whatever.
When he's a different dude.
Yeah,
He's a whole
exactly.
different
Yeah,
guy.
you change, you grow.
He's
know?
not Slim
Yeah,
Shady
exactly.
anymore. And so like I think like there were touches of that where he like came back into the public eye and it was like cool to be an Eminem fan again where like I would say MGK, the whole Eminem and MGK thing, that was Eminem kind of like back in his power stance, power era Eminem. I wish Eminem was like cool. Rap God was probably the last time Eminem was like boom on top of the hip hop game. Cause like it's just that now if he drops something, it's kind of like Lil Wayne. It's like a lot of these guys from like back then.
Yeah.
They just don't have the same status they used to. It kind of makes me
Well,
sad. when I
It's
think
just
about
like a weird thing. Like there's shifts of like different things, but I think the media was pushing most of that.
Oh, you
know?
think so?
I think so. I think it's like the differences of what the media wants you to be listening to.
Oh, I think you're right.
Because
I
they don't
think, well,
want-
I think,
they don't
again,
wanna
like
push-
industry plant, right? Because like people say that, and I think that's a lot of people just say that about things they don't like. But there is truth to the fact that if I have a lot of money, I could pay a media company to promote you,
Right,
and then
exactly.
you'll pop up everywhere,
And you'll
all of
be
a
here-
sudden
yeah.
you're everywhere,
Yeah.
because I have a lot of money.
Exactly.
And that's what an industry plan is.
Not only that, but like obviously your music videos are gonna look better. Your
Yeah. The
quality,
production value is really good, yeah.
So all that helps. I mean, but like coming up, have you ever heard of J.U.I.'s?
No.
Juice? He battled Eminem, and he used to freestyle like crazy too.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So like the freestylers, I don't really know a whole bunch of them. Like freestyle rappers that are like legendary in that world.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you a whole bunch of them. Are there a bunch of? Do you know a lot?
I do because I used to follow rap battle stuff back
Yeah.
in the day when it was like grind time, and then it went into I think King of the Dot. I don't know if you ever seen that.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So my friend Joey Koff used to do that. I'm pretty sure. Did they go to Detroit too?
they went to a bunch of spots. Like at the beginning, they were going everywhere. Like,
Yeah, because I swear I heard about that so long
but
ago.
that sort of died out too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like with your music, bro, like do you produce your own stuff? Or
I mix and master it. I don't make the beats. That's the only thing I don't do.
It sounds like it sounds really good quality.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it took a long time to get here. So remember earlier when I said start recording as early as possible.
To
learn like everything. Because the thing is, I think you want to know everything. If you're gonna make your own music, you should want to know how to mix and master it and how to do all that stuff. And you should want to be able to record on your own if you need to. But mixing and mastering it is a skill that could take you so far because now you're in a studio and now you can say to the guy, oh, hey, can you turn the EQ like this? Like, oh, it sounds like this. You can actually explain rather than not having the words.
Exactly,
you know?
right.
You will know what's wrong with it rather than like being so confused why it doesn't sound good.
But
like, oh, it's overcompressed. Like stuff like that. But yeah, it took a long time. And I think like, yeah, dude, it's nice to hear that.
No, yeah.
Because if I listen to stuff from 3 years ago,
some of my favorites
I'm like,
were,
oh, this is so bad.
Brain Food.
Yeah.
Brain Food, like I like that, like the smoothness and the flow. Like I said, like I like what you did with your voice on that one. I was like, damn, you snapping. Like, yeah.
Fun fact.
You guys need to go listen on Spotify. Go listen to
Brain
Ruse.
Food.
Yeah, Brain Food. That.
On my 245. 245. That song, I wrote the second verse on TikTok live.
Oh, yeah?
Fun fact for the folks.
Oh,
I remember writing it, and I think, like, I was like, what I wore to the war, killer at my core, now my... And then I said, like, I need, like, a word, like, something I could wear. Somebody said Jordans. I was like, you're a genius. And I should have taken a screenshot because they're never going to get co-writing credit for that song.
Well, shout outs to that person.
But you know what? The beginning of that second verse is awesome. What I wore to the war, killer at my core. Now my Jordans are sore. On the shore where I'm sure that my poor blood pours from my pores. Let it run on the floor. What for? Guts, gore in my cuts. Let me just bust floor through the door. See me at dusk, fired up like fourth such form. Feel the rust, but it's just dust storms in the wake of my touch as the clouds just form in the sky. Yeah, that's a cool second verse.
Yeah.
That's such a cool way to open up a second verse. That whole song
with the beat though, like that's what I'm saying. Like in like the way the voice, like you know.
And that's why I was saying earlier, like with like the voice thing, I think you need to like play with the beat and you need to like find how your voice is going to work on this beat. Like I don't, because I think people like think too much about it and then they try to like, oh, I'm gonna write something that sounds like this, and then they want to sound a certain way, and then they sound a certain way.
Well, style is a big either it does it or it doesn't.
Yeah. Because
if you don't put the right style into the cadence with the beat, it's not gonna sound. It's just for some reason, But like some people have a way to where they're flowing and it's like the beat. They're writing the beat instead of on the beat. You know what I'm talking about? Like
yes, I do know what you're talking about.
And so. Hence why that song I like it because you're riding the beat. You're not overshadowing it. And
I heard Ubiquitous UBI from Cess Crew say one time like every single sound that happens on a beat is important when you're writing, and I think that's good advice. Like everything that happens. That's why I don't like beats that are like looping the whole time. Like you gotta have motion in a beat because then you have something to work with.
Exactly.
Like with Brain Food, the reason that second verse is like that is because the first 4 bars are build up. The first 4 bars are like the beat drops out right after the hook. And then you ride out into the second verse, so you have that like feeling already coming into it, and then now it's like a breakdown part of the song. What I wore to the war, killer at my core. Now my Jordans are sore on the shore where I'm sure that my poor blood pours from my pores. Then you like build it up right there, right at the end, because it's about to come in.
And was the beat already like that, or you?
Yeah, the beat was like that.
Oh, okay.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
you want to find beats with like motion and stuff like that.
Right,
you need that, and like that's why I usually only try to find a few producers that I really like that I know are gonna do that. Because a lot of people will just do like a loop for the first verse, loop for the second verse, loop for which is no shame to them. That's the thing to do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like I guess sometimes they're going so fast that their work process is like just so that instead of because it takes a long time to make a beat with someone, especially if you're collaborating with someone to make a beat. That.
Yeah, I feel for these producers, dude, give it like a year from when this podcast comes out. AI is taking all their jobs.
AI is gonna take everything, bro.
I don't know if it's getting
an AI podcast of someone.
I feel like it's gonna watch like 10 of my episodes and be better than me already. It won't even take that much. I'll be like, damn, I like this version of me.
That shit got me. I was like, I saw something. It was like The Simpsons, Adam Sandler as Homer Simpson. I was like, holy fuck, they're really doing this shit.
What, like on Facebook, like a fake poster?
Yeah, it was something. Someone sent me it. I've
seen those.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, they got me, bro. I really wanted to watch that movie. I still want to watch it.
Yeah. Well, don't worry, because in 3 years you can generate that movie with AI. You will be able to watch that movie. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I like it or if I hate it. I don't know how to feel about it. It's too late. We're already there. I think it's just the thing is we're doing the right thing. We're doing what we want to do before the apocalypse happens.
I just think it's going to be soulless, though.
That's what I agree.
The art, because it could create crazy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It could make some crazy pictures, too, because I wanted to make a logo, and I tried to use it. It was dope as fuck, but I was still like, I don't know, it's missing something.
Like there's not the human soul's
creativity.
Yeah,
there's nothing. Like I could tell someone wasn't putting their heart into this.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, and when you have like AI, hold on, let's get a pop. When you have AI write bars like for rap, you can actually get it to do because before you couldn't do this. What I've learned is like you have to tell it, write a rap, make sure to focus on internal rhyming and wordplay, like give it the exact things it has to do, and then it'll actually kind of do it. It'll actually have like internal rhyming and it'll flow in a certain way. And because now you have these AI song generators, you could even take that and then go to an AI song generator and put in the lyrics, and boom, now you just made a song. Some people even release those songs.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, but though, like,
I think Kanye put some of that on his album.
Kanye's doing some crazy shit.
But yeah, so it's just, I don't know. I mean, maybe my friend did show me. There's one thing that I thought was cool, which is like how you can extend songs. I've seen a couple videos on YouTube where like they extended the Grand Theft Auto 4 theme song, and it goes on an extra 2 minutes and it has another break. It sounds really cool. And there's certain things like that where I was thinking, like, if I could take one of the beats I use and extend it and then do that live, that might be cool. Yeah. Like, extend the beat so everybody hears the song they know, and then, oh, shit, the beat didn't stop, and then just start doing something else.
Come in or something.
Yeah, because you could probably do stuff like that. That's a fun use of AI.
Like, I mean, yeah, that'll be a good way to use it.
But that's the thing, is most people I don't think are going to be creative like that. And that's where you, like you're saying, you're going to lose the soul and the creativity.
Right. Like comedy-wise,
it's not that funny yet, but it's going to happen. Yeah. There's no comedians will tell you no, but yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen for, like you said, it's going to happen for all of us. You're right. We all think we're safe. Everybody thinks they're safe. I swear I heard Joe Rogan say he's fine because he's podcasting. I'm like, are you crazy? I swear I heard him say that. But like, no one is safe. Like, it's going to get all of us. I mean,
yeah, it's going to try. I mean, and it goes back to like, I think that that frequency, and if you're in that lower frequency, you're not going to care.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Because most people aren't trying to. I think that it's interesting when you look at history. I would say it's probably like from the Enlightenment period onward where we get closer and closer to science and farther from nature, like the 1500s onward. And then now we're at this weird spot where it's so exponential, right? Like we're on the tip of this exponential curve, and we just think about it like every day by day because that's what you do. But 2020 to 2000, that's pretty different. Yeah. 2000 to 1980, that's pretty different.
Right.
It's actually less different. I apologize. 2020 to 2000, pretty different. 2000 to 1980, different but not as different. 1980 to 1960, different but even less different. 1960 to 1940, and you just keep going back, and it was more and more the same the farther and farther back you go. Like now everything changes so fast.
Now incrementally it just goes. It's
I was
faster
just
now.
talking with Claire Sundby, I think I pronounced her last name right, on my podcast yesterday, episode 175 of Ruse Radio. And I was saying, like, if you told me today, basically anything, I would believe you. If you told me time travel was possible, I'd say, yeah, you know what? Yeah, they probably figured it out. If you told me that dinosaurs are in a zoo right now and there's 20 of them and they didn't announce it, they just announced it today and they're already all alive, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
like, you could tell me anything. I was trying to think of something you couldn't tell me, you know?
Right.
We're at the point
Well-
where it's so exponential. And so what I say all that to say is that we're so far from our humanity. We're so far from ourselves. Because the more and
mean,
more you get
the
into that,
technology
you
keeps-
don't realize you don't need all this shit. You
Right.
actually don't need all that.
Technology is getting better, but as one human to the other human, that it's not getting better.
'Cause I
we're
think, like-
still fighting over some there's wars going out there for like bullshit. Even
Yeah.
though we have technology now, we have the science. We all know we're all the same thing. We're the same species. We're all the humans. We all the same. You know, we come from the same place, same DNA, all that, whatever. Yet we still fight each other. We now we have all this knowledge, and yet we still don't get along. So that's kind of weird to me. Like the fact that as a humans, we're at this level now where we have all the technology going for us. We have all this wisdom, and yet we're fighting over some bullshit.
I wish I could remember what it's called. It's a book by some guy, engineered something. I'm not going to remember the name, but the whole idea is that I think it's just like you said with people, like with music being the way it is. I think these things are actually engineered, and I think we actually would get
Yeah.
along.
Yeah.
If we actually had the chance, I think we would get along. Because every time I talk with people, it
I
seems
agree.
like when I look around in my everyday life, we get along. Like Bill Hicks had a great joke about that a long time ago, where I think it was in like the mid 80s when he said this, where it's like, you look at the news, like war, famine, death, war, famine, death. That's what it is. They just tell you the worst shit happening all the time.
And but doesn't that capture people's attention?
Well, yeah, and so the question is, well, is it humanity or is it, but even if it is, like, there's got to be something better, right? You can't just take advantage of that humanity and then just destroy us. Because again, like, that's how you lose humanity. When you just see terrible things all the time, you become, that stuff's normal.
Yeah, we're so desensitized now because of how easily we have access to whatever we want, and then now the algorithm, like, as soon as it gets you, it gets you. If you're on Instagram, whatever, and you're looking through something, and oh shit, next thing you know, you're there for like 20 minutes, and you're like, oh fuck, I was supposed to go do something.
Yeah, it's bad watching the time fly by. I remember my dad didn't have a smartphone for the longest time, and as soon as he got one, he got sucked right in. It was just like that, you just see it happen, like, oh no.
Did you grow up in Chicago?
No, I grew up in Flint. I grew up in Swartz Creek, and then I moved to Flint about 2018, I want to say. 2019. 2020. I moved to Flint in 2020, yeah, because it was right around good old everything closing down. And that was actually nice because I moved into a house for the first time, and I could just focus on that. I was like, you know what? Well,
we're going to be inside. Fuck it.
yeah, guess I can hang out in this house now. But yeah, so Flint, and then I moved to Chicago in July of 2023. And then it's funny because I didn't really even do anything with anyone creatively until probably October of 2024.
Whoa.
And so here we are now. And I think it's just because I reach out to a million people and do the podcast all the time. I try to do an episode every 3 days. So it's stuff like that. I think it's just
I see that
the way of things. The reason I do that is because I looked at like the podcast greats, the people on top of the pyramid, and I was like, what is it they all have in common? And they all just release a million episodes all the time. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's getting new guests all the time. You don't want to like burn it out on the same people.
Exactly,
You need to reach
yeah.
out and
Right,
do new
right.
things and find new people. Yeah. Because I mean, like, and it's cool. It's a cool experience, dude. I mean, why do you do this? Do you like doing it?
I just started as a goof, but it was fun.
Yeah.
And like you said, I like meeting people. Like I especially artists that I like, hey, they're doing their thing right now. Like me when I saw you, the reason, well, actually, the fact I know about you is because of the roast battles.
Right.
So I saw you there, and like I'm like watching it because I've been a fan of roast battles since Jeff Ross, like when it used to come out on Comedy Central, and like I've been watching it since then. So it's been a long time, and then it went away for a little while. It came back on YouTube. Next thing you know, I'm watching the ones in Chicago. On like they got their own league now too, and I was like, okay, cool. And they're like, hey, we're gonna bring up a rapper, this and that. I was like, what? I'm like, they never done this. They never done this. And then you came up, and then you started you freestyled, and you were doing like the jokes that they did. Yeah. You incorporated it within the freestyle. I was like, oh shit, he snapped. And then like I'm like, damn, that's dope. You know that they had that. So later on, I'm watching it again, and boom, again, you came up. I was like, oh man, I gotta meet this guy. Yes.
You know, I think it's one of those things where, like, I was actually surprised there were so many supportive comments. Because, like, you always expect hate comments. I've learned when you do things on the internet, there are hate comments. But especially, like, in the comedy community, like, I follow the comedy community. I understand. Like, there are literally subreddits dedicated to just hating people in the comedy community. So it's kind of just the way it is. So I expected everyone to just kind of like make fun of me. So the fact that not so much the first time. The first time I think there's like one or two supportive comments. The second time there's a bunch of people like, yo, this is dope. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I must have defied the laws of everything because you're not supposed to be able to do that. You're not supposed to be able to rap at a comedy club in the middle of a comedy show. Yeah. There's something I did that's like a glitch in the Matrix. That's how I feel about it. I'm doing something impossible.
And even when the judges...
it shouldn't work.
When the judges were talking about it, too, I was, even though they were joking around, but they were still like, yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. So it's so funny to me because, like, it's a very weird position to be in as a rapper. Like, I don't think any other rapper would even want to really do that, you know? Like, hey, man, you're going to
Not if it's cold and no one knows you. Like,
yeah, basically.
That is like, okay, yeah.
And
right.
The whole thing was, like, so I had went to Power Hour. That's another comedy open mic. Well, that's not obviously Roast Battle's not an open mic, but Power Hour is a comedy open mic, and it's a great comedy open mic. If you're in Chicago, I would recommend it to you. It's awesome. Even if you just want to check out what a comedy open mic can be, if it's like a fun time, that's a fun time. Because it's in a little like tiny Legion, and they got a basement. The bar's right there. They got a band. The band, if the comedians freestyle during their set, they
with
get
a band. That's
yeah,
funny.
with
That's
the
dope.
band. So the comedians like sing and they rap and stuff like that. And what else was it? There's a it's not a roaster, what do they call it? The drinker. There's a drinker of the night, and the drinker is always, they got a bunch of beer and they're drinking and they're making fun of you as you're trying to do the jokes.
Oh shit.
So it's like a whole thing.
You spit it out or something, or
yeah, like you're talking and you're like, so I don't know if you guys have been to Philadelphia, and then the other guy goes, your mom has, like something
okay,
like that.
I
It's
see
just
what you're
trying to
saying.
throw you off.
Right.
But yeah, so that's a fun open mic, and I knew beforehand. Like, I already went to comedy open mics and rapped, and I was already doing this because that's kind of like the weird spot I put myself in from the start. And that's how I started getting comedians on the podcast. Because it's because the music open mics, I feel like there's not that many, whereas comedy open mics, you can find a whole bunch
I feel like
of them.
comedians are a good hang, too. Like,
And they're a good hang. Yes, there's a
like,
reason that comedians do podcasts and they're on top of the
'cause it's just
podcast
like,
world.
yeah,
Because they just do this naturally.
and they
do
know
this.
how to, like, just keep it on, keep it going. Like you said, they want to just, say
They want to do it. Yeah. And so it was going to Power Hour, and then I messaged my friend James Najjar. Shout out to James Najjar. He's the very first person I met in the Chicago comedy community. Probably the first comic, I think, that came on to my podcast. So really shout out him. He's awesome. Awesome dude.
Yeah.
If you're trying to have comedians on,
hey,
I'll send them your way.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I met him, and what was I just about to say? James Najjar rap. Oh,
You were doing the open mics.
open mics, James. Yeah, but I forgot why I mentioned him. I, for some reason, forgot why I mentioned him as soon as I brought him up. I gave him such a hard shout out. I forgot why he's involved. But yeah, so I can at least say that I was doing the music thing. I'm going on stage. I'm doing that at comedy open mics, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, I messaged James Najjar because he did a little video about Power Hour. And so then I message him. I say, hey, can I go here and rap? And he says, yeah, but you have to freestyle. So now I'm thinking, oh, shit. So what am I going to do? Because if I hit the freestyle and it's a whole 4 or 5 minutes, like, I have to really...
Right.
Yeah.
Because you could probably do like a minute freestyle and it'd be dope as fuck, but then, sometimes...
Exactly. You might taper out bad.
Either it could be up or down. You don't know.
You never know.
Yeah.
That's the risk with a freestyle. You
Yeah.
never really know. That's why even roast battle is dangerous.
That's why it's exciting, bro.
It's dangerous as fuck for me. 'Cause I'm always scared, like, oh God, what's this gonna be? So yeah. I went to Power Hour, and the trick was, it's funny, I have my notebook here, so I can show you the actual notebook with the actual notes inside of it. You watch everybody do their set, and then you just write down every single thing they say. And then when I freestyle everything from throughout the night in my rap, you see. So I want to say this one was the first
It's
one.
like behind the curtains, you guys.
We got best of... I think this was the second one, because there's a bunch of shit here. There's no way I made it through all this. The first time, I was able to like get just the right amount. I didn't do too many, because the problem is if I go too late throughout the night, then there's too many things that everybody said, and I only have 5 minutes.
How many episodes have you done?
I'm talking about Power Hour.
Oh, Power Hour.
Because at Power Hour, it's the freestyle thing. So I also have my rap battle stuff right here. I can give you a sneak peek at that process too, but I'm just trying to find... I guess I'll go to this one, because the notes for the Power Hour thing are, which you can find these performances on YouTube. It doesn't make as much sense if you haven't sat there for the last 2 hours of the open mic.
Right.
We got participation trophy, FUPA fanny pack, crying baby. Yeah, it's great because I just have to find ways to say this stuff. Crying baby. There was a crying baby in the room. James Earl Jones, pulled pork, Grim Reaper, Charlie Vagina Face,
What the fuck?
full-blooded Mexican, pasta till death do us part. See, I don't remember why. He, him,
Maybe
uncut.
somebody's punchline or something?
Yeah, these are all... If I said it in that room, they would get it.
Right.
Every single one of these, people go, ah! Bad Dick, Ice Raid, Field Singing Spirituals, ooh, Schizophrenic, Macarena, Perfume and Cigarettes, Built Like Mini Fridge, Milk and Tina. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good one, because there was a person named Tina, and he was saying she looked like a cow. That's what that meant. Genetic Kinks, Back a Cracker Barrel, Molly Freak Nasty, and last but not least, Nick a Butt Knuckle. Nick a Butt Knuckle. Yeah, which again, like, if I'm rapping, I'd be like, yo, check it out. Yo, I flip a bunch of couple. I fall off this chair and nick a butt knuckle. Boom. And that would have gotten a huge round of applause. People would start bowing to me. So, yeah, that's how that goes. And I was doing that there. And then the person who was producing that saw me do that there. And the reason it works so well is because they already wanted the comedians to do music. So if I'm somebody who's just doing music for 4 or 5 minutes and also I'm doing that, they're like, oh my God.
Right.
And I remember
it adds to the show.
It's not even a show. It's an open mic. They are not taking this seriously.
Oh, okay.
So the fact that I do that, they're like, what? They have no idea. And then it's just so funny because, like, to me, this is the stupidest shit. I am saying ridiculous things. The fact that I'm able to get away with this is fantastic.
Well, that's what I like about roast battle. Like, that's what I like about it. That they just say the craziest stuff to each other.
Yeah, exactly. And
one of my friends actually was on it. Like, I don't know if you know Oscar Cabajal.
No.
Yeah, he's been on it too. He's like twice.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
I'll check him out.
Yeah, but you know.
So I was doing that there, and then the girl who produced that, she had seen me there, and now she produces, Courtney Albers, shout out her. Now she produces over at Roast Battle Chicago, and she had like reached out to me and said, hey, how about you do that, but at Roast Battle? And so then I don't even think I said anything to them because I'm thinking I don't want to present it and have them feel iffy about it. I'll just do it. And so for the first 2 minutes, I do like a rap where I did, because they had said to me before, they said they want me to diss the panel and they want me to make jokes about everyone. So now I'm thinking like, oh shit, well, you want me to freestyle, but you also want me to insult everyone? Like, that's going to be kind of hard. So that's where the genesis of it comes out. And so I, again, pop out the notebook here, the sneak peek. We got the files that I have for these folks. I think this is the first one I did, would be this one back here, because I have to write down all their names and then do my research and figure out how I'm going to diss each one of them. I'm going to start with the second one because I feel like the second one's a nice one. So Georgia Moore. We had her. It's a tough one when I don't have too much dirt on them.
Yeah.
So I put Devil Went Down on Georgia. I was thinking we could work with that.
Okay.
Glitterous, because she had a comedy group called Glitterous. Something like, you know.
That's a cool name.
Yeah. Oh, she's talking. I'm already sick of this. Trying to get some guy in the back to touch her glitterous. Right there, you know. Middle finger profile. Oh, she's got her middle finger up in her profile picture. Could make fun of her for that. G Money. That's her rap name, I think. She also, Laugh Factory open mic host.
She does music too?
No.
Yeah.
These are all comedians I'm making fun of.
Okay,
So she hosts the Laugh Factory open mic. So I think what I said is, hi, Georgia. Glad to see you battling, but I'm going to send your ass right back to the Laugh Factory. Here's a tragedy. Devil went down on Georgia, looking for a soul to steal, but he found an odor.
Oh.
Meaning an STD.
Yeah.
Got the rhyme so fly on your MP3. When I land, motherfuckers tell I'm him with the dream bigger than Hannah Belmont's chin.
Ooh.
And that's, if you're a fan of Roast Battle, you know everybody makes fun of Hannah Belmont's chin. I once heard someone compare her to Jay Leno.
Hey, you don't know what I'm saying.
Dude, it's so funny because I have like a notebook full of, what else we got? Drew Gregory looks like Ned Flanders. He has an anal fissure. Jackson White is the whitest man alive. I was thinking like white. He's white. Got to go with Jackson White. And he looked like a turtle. I went with Jackson White. What did I say after the Hannah Belmont thing? I got it right in front of me. Majored in theater. We can tell by her act. Hannah Belmont majored in theater. A major feature. Sorry, girl, it's a rap. For the streets, but you whiter than Jack, and Jackson's white, teaching lessons to Jack Black. And what I mean, I looked and I took a two-take. Kung Fu Panda, Jackson White is Master Oogway.
Oh, yeah, I saw this one. This is the one I saw.
Break it down, make it jump like a hurdle. What I'm saying is, Jackson, you look like a turtle.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking like, because the thing is, you have to, it's a comedy audience, so even the way you write the rap, you kind of have to break it down.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get it.
Yeah.
So like, I really wanted to land.
You guys gotta go check out that episode, like in that room. They were going at each other. I remember
yesterday, dude. The
battle.
one that's coming out next.
Oh yeah, you were on yesterday, right?
Yeah, the one that's coming 2 days ago, I think. No, yeah, because it was Thursday.
Oh, okay.
But sneak peek. This is filmed on Saturday, folks. It's not coming out the moment we film this, is it?
No.
Yeah, right. This sneak peek behind the scenes. This was filmed in his mother's basement on Saturday at 12:30 at night. It's past my bedtime. But yeah, so the third one, the one yesterday, was so awesome, dude. I feel like the energy in the room was the best yet. And I can even give you a sneak peek of the rap. You can hear it before anybody else hears it online. Only the people in that room have heard it. Oh, and then here's my notes from Rap Battle for the freestyle. Because I also had to write down all this stuff about them. So, Femi from Wakanda. Chris is the founder of OnlyFans. All Stars and Newbies. They said we got All Stars and Newbies. Sabrina the Middle-Aged Witch. Chris was the founder of OnlyFans. Mike is a party dildo. He said they were passing around the mic like a party dildo. It's so funny because like the other thing I have to do.
Who were the
hosts?
The host and the main.
So the host for that one I think was Manny Petty. I'm gonna try to remember all of them. I mean, I wrote it all down again. Let's go back. Ba 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 ba. So it was Georgia Moore. These are the battlers: Georgia Moore, Hannah Belmont, Jackson White, Drew Gregory, Mike Dwyer, Brian Miklas, Mo Diab, Femi. And then after that, we just got the host, which is Manny Petty, Matt Loxley, Courtney Albers. And then I think Emma Dallenberg was announced like last minute. But
So this is behind the scenes right here.
yeah, it's all behind the scenes, folks. Because again, I only have a couple days to write these. This is another thing to consider. I only like the week of on the Monday is when I get like the lineup. So that's when I begin to do this.
Like, all right, just getting your homework in.
The one I just did the last time, I wrote the day of. That was risky, but I did it. Shout out to my laziness.
Shout out to laziness.
But I knew, like, okay, I gotta get this done. It's today. But yeah, so it was all those guys. Manny Petty was the one who said passing the mic like a party dildo. I was gonna say it's funny because as the show's going on, I'm watching them say things like, party dildo. I can use that. Like I have to think, what is this room gonna remember? Like what is the stuff that sticks out just enough to where
for them to like.
Yeah, because it's often most stuff lands. That's what surprises me with this is like. When I watch it back, because I can't really focus on it in the moment, but when I watch it back, it's like, oh, most of these references, they are getting what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, they do remember everything.
That goes back to what we were saying about hypnotism.
Yeah, and you know what's so cool is I think what I'm doing is so genius because not only am I dissing everybody in the spirit of roast battle, but I'm tying the show together in this way. So like they already are sold on me when I do the rap, but when I do that second part with the freestyle, then they're like, "Whoa, what the fuck is this?"
And I bet the people there, that's why they appreciate it, because like, oh, okay, he's not just rapping. Like, because some people do a freestyle and they'll do something they wrote.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to do with anything that's going on in the room.
Yeah.
It might be even about them or something, whatever, right? But if you freestyle and you incorporate things within whatever or the conversation. Whatever.
At least this is about the event. Like
exactly.
I'm not just rapping about whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
because if I came in and did that, I'd be kicked out the
and
first
time. Exactly. If you wouldn't, if you don't like have a reference that the people are gonna be like, what?
Yeah.
That's just gonna be like, we don't want to be listening. We were listening to comedy. I don't.
And,
but then
and
bring
that's not even a musical comedy room.
Exactly.
So like, there's even musical comedy places where you might be able to do it, but that's not it. They're not ready for musical comedy. So so I'm not even considering this musical comedy. I'm just considering it like, I'm about to diss y'all asses. I'm about to get y'all.
Ooh,
Ruse coming for everybody. Ruse coming for your head. But hamster characteristics: Drew, yeast infection and anal fissure, penis in a scorched penis in a hot loaf. Femi in flight school, viciously Caucasian, salt in anal margarita. Mike is a human bulldog. He looks like the guy from Mad Magazine. Brian, if Brian had a podcast, it'd be really boring. Trans Napoleon, bop it, strap on. Somebody compared a labia to the Rocky Mountains. UTIPA, like she's so nasty. She drinks UTIPA. Can't remember what it was exactly. Mean Girls from Drama Club. And then I spit more rhymes than times Hannah calls Georgia a whore. I figured I could somehow throw that in there. And okay, so this is the right here is the latest one. So I'll give you the
Thursday?
sneak peek. It just happened. Yeah, from Thursday. I beat you. So I've decided I'm going to start, if I can, I'm going to start every single one with these 2 lines because I think that's the way to do it, okay?
All right.
I think, like, it gives it consistency. It's like, oh, shit, he's back. I beat your ass with no paddle. Sticks and stones. Bitch, this a roast battle. Champ v champ, the 1v1. The Rat King Kiefer fighting with his lesbian son. It's a day for festivity. White women, watch out. Tito be like giggity. Hey, somebody try and help me debunk. He dressed like a gay porn star, but he call it steampunk. That don't make no sense. David Donick, double D's with the same old sets. He's a teacher. Raise your hand if you sit in the back. Missed an urban lifestyle. Now we wish he were black. Name's Ruse and I came to kill stuff. Running over comics. Nick Emica with the milk truck. Talking to him, swear I got him to crack. You think he's really like that? It's an act. 0 to 1,000, someone getting the count and something smells fishy. My bad, it must be Troutman. Dangerously Slim Shady in the room. Gay, emo, depressed, trifecta of doom. Humpty Dumpty. Oh, Humpty Dumpty fell off a wall just to hang with us. Shout out to Brienne, y'all. Up in Zanies. Nah, you can't make this up. Had to call in Tom Ryan just to shake it up. He has Tourette's.
the joke. Jameson Cox, you eat what you are. He the Reddit mod neckbeard you meet at the bar. He the sex offender Peter Griffin, breathing in hard. Used to rap, now he's 500 feet from apart. Ooh. Peyton Ruddy, ain't it funny how you ain't with us? Moved to Austin, work with Rogan, man, you made it, bruh. Buddy's back, check it out. What we got gon' get him. You can make it out the chai, but with Stockholm Syndrome. A city of straight shooters, talking about So Rob, how could you hate Buddha? Talking about Ruse Line, Chi-Town, the fucking truth. Bust your tooth, it's Lil Whale, Augustus Gloop. This ain't Kill Tony, but stay with me. Stephanie going nuclear on a lame 60. Is she a terrorist in conversation or realized to recognize her face from bombing compilations? And then it goes into the freestyle. So Stephanie Robertson, the last girl I mentioned, she is notorious for going on Kill Tony and having like an epic bomb. It was kind of impossible not to mention
Oh yeah,
that.
I've seen it.
Have you seen it? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You've seen the actual clip?
Yeah. I watched Kill Tony like.
If you've seen the clip,
crazy.
it's funny because she says throughout the clip, she's like, "Stay with me, stay with me."
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Yeah.
This ain't Kill Tony, but stay with me. I'm going hard on these people, dude. I'm destroying their souls. But also, yeah, I recognize her face from bombing. Is she a terrorist? I recognize her face from bombing compilations. I thought that was. It's all about how can I.
But like I said,
set
if you're
these
in the
things up.
room, and these people are there, and
And they already
just
saw. They
heard,
just saw everything.
Like, and not only that, but like you hear your name, you're like, oh shit, oh.
And some of these, like, I even know it's not even going to really land with the crowd, but that's okay because it's just like, okay, so the one where I say, name's Ruse and I came to kill stuff, running over comics, Nick Emica with the milk truck. So Nick Emica was ran over with a milk truck before. The audience is not going to know that.
Right.
But I know
But
that's a
they're
good
gonna
enough
know
to
that.
line to where it'll at least, they know I'm bringing up Nick Emica. I can keep going with the Nick Emica thing. And also Nick's going to get it. So that's funny.
But if you're in the room, I'm telling you that I bet that. Like,
And what really, so by this, they probably released them like 2 weeks, 3 weeks after, but there was a joke that Tito said about David Donick where he said, "You look like your N-word is nincompoop." And it really, people laughed a lot. And when I brought that joke back during the freestyle, that is when the room went nuts, dude.
That's a good joke.
And it's so funny. I think I said like something along the lines of, I can't wait to watch it back because I can't remember even how I did it. I said, I think that I'm Ruse. I think I'm the truth. I think that when I see someone I don't like, I think of the N-word, which to me that word is...
nincompoop.
Yeah, and the whole audience goes, nincompoop! Ah! It's just the most ridiculous. I mentioned the N-word and pointed the mic at the audience, and they applauded. It's like the things
But that's
you
the-
can do with hip-hop.
That's the power of the room too. The vibe, the whole.
Yeah, I think comedy and hip-hop
energy.
have so much in common. I think
Yeah.
freestyling...
I think they're
and-
symbiotic.
Yeah.
They could live together because
Yes.
I did like a little show like, well, we did it here too. We did one here too, where I was just debuting some songs, but I had a comedian, I had a guitarist, and the people, they just liked it because the comedian, he killed it. And then at first it was two girls, two comedian girls. I forgot the name. I don't know why, but it was a while ago. And the people liked it. And then we did music right after, and they still were like, the energy was still there. All the artists just rolled that energy, and so.
Yeah. Yeah, the comedy's got to go first. I've pondered over this many times.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think when you put comedians after music, they don't like that. And I think it kind of is a weird
It's
energy.
a different dynamic.
But if you do the comedy first, it's okay.
Because comedy, you have to pay attention, and like the vibe is not about you moving around.
I think about
Music
it
is-
like it's like one is thinking and one is feeling. So if I'm
Exactly,
watching
right.
comedy,
That's
I'm
what I'm
thinking.
saying.
If I'm listening to music, I'm feeling.
like music is more bodily,
Yeah.
like a body mental thing.
And you
Comedy
can't,
is
and you shouldn't
mental.
be feeling before you think. You should be thinking before you feel at a show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then comedy's more like a thinking thing.
Yeah.
And then once they got you, once they hypnotized you, or where they got you on the boom, now everybody's in the same. But then
Fucking
if
John
you come
Mayer
after,
walks out. Oh my God, John Mayer's here. Oh, I was just hearing a dick joke. This is awesome.
shit shit. I think anytime John Mayer comes through, I'll be like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yo, if John Mayer was in here right now serenading me, I would probably fall in love with him.
Oh man.
Yeah. Like, doesn't take
We're
much.
just gonna press pause on the.
John Mayer walks out. Oh my God! I just start freaking out. By the way,
Thank you for having me here, dude. I mean, this is funnily, I've done one podcast with somebody else, but like the day as a guest, but they never released it. It was one of those things where it was like he was starting a podcast. And another pro tip from Ruse, folks: when people reach out to you and they say, "Hey, be a part of my show," what you should do is see if they've done their show at least once or twice before. Because it's just like sometimes people haven't really done things and they want to, like, they know that you are someone who does things and they want to bring you in, but then they never release it. And it's like, oh, dang, well, I should have filmed that myself. Like I should,
Right.
because I wanted to know what I said.
Not only that, but like you wasted your time.
But you know what's so funny? I'm not even that upset about that. I'm just sad I can't go back and look at it. Like, I would like to at least see it. You know, like, I had a good time from my memory. So, like, wouldn't it be nice if that stuff we recorded was somewhere?
Right.
Like, that's.
Like,
I just don't even understand, like,
Or at
why
least
you
send it
would
to you
put it
to see
somewhere.
what you think. At
Yeah.
least.
I'll post a clip or
Right.
something, you know, but it's whatever. So I'm happy to be here because this is like the first podcast I get to actually be on as a guest that I can say, hey guys, look at me. I've done a podcast for a while. I've done my podcast since 2018.
I was gonna ask you that. How long have you been doing Ruse Radio? 2018.
And it's so funny. If you go back to the first like 5 episodes, it's literally me holding this phone in my car, talking into it like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolute trash. And I think that's a good place to start. So,
But your consistency made you get better. Like now, you know, because I've seen like a few episodes, and I'm like, hey, you know, this is, that's what I'm saying. Like everyone has like their own style of doing things, and like as a personality, like you know, you already have it mastered, and like on the music tip, which was why I noticed you was like, you know, I'm like, oh shit, his music fucking dope as fuck too.
yeah.
You know, so
You gotta be a Jedi Master nowadays. You gotta do 10 different things at once.
Yeah.
Confuse them. Like, wait, what? He does what? But yeah, no, the podcast thing. Yeah, it's 2018 and then like when I started, it wasn't that consistent. I would say the last like 3 years, I've really amped it up. Like the last year, especially, is when I really decided like the 3 episodes a day, all this, because like to me, it's just like I love meeting people. I love doing that. I don't even like doing it because I like promoting myself or like it's a good thing for me. That's fun. That's cool. But like, it's always just so cool it gives you so much perspective when you're constantly putting other stuff in front of you and then just like not talking to the same person every day. Like you hang out with your same friends for 6 months, nothing ever changes. And that's how you live the same life you've always lived. So it's cool to do shit like that and just talk with different people, man. And yeah. I mean, 2018, 2020 onward. And I would say, what you said about mastering things too. Yeah, it's like you have to do it that consistently. I feel like doing it all the time is the move because it makes you so much better at it.
Are you at now?
I'm at like I said, 175 was the one I filmed the other day. And my ultimate goal, if I had a number in mind, 4,000. Because if the average episode is 2.5 hours, the math checks out. 10,000 hours is 4,000 episodes. So that's a fun number to throw around, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about Joe Rogan is like the king of podcasting. He's at 2,400 right now or something like that.
Right.
So he's not even there. And he's probably done somewhere near probably 5,000 to 8,000 hours. I don't think he's done 10,000 hours. I really don't think he has.
I mean, his show, I used to watch it back in the day, but just because I used to like tripping out on stuff.
Yeah,
like
it's the perfect thing.
But then he started
Throw on him and Duncan Trussell while you're tripping balls.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And actually, that's why I kind of like having you on today, because like I've been having a lot of fun, man. Just like I think that's what I like about your personality. You know, like it's easy to get along and just like
thanks, man.
You trip out and relax and chill. You know, which I think that's the good thing about podcasting. You know, you get to meet like cool ass people.
And I think that's what podcasting should be. Like I learned from doing interviews a long time ago. Oh, it's my personality that's making these people
That's what's making this work is what the personality is. I think a good podcast, a good conversation, that's what you're doing. Or a good interview. You're pulling the best part of somebody out through it, no matter who it is. Like you should be able to be flexible and be able to talk with different people. And
it doesn't matter who it is. It's just like, let me have some fun.
Yes.
Like, because I find you interesting, because when I saw the battle, the roast battles, I was like, oh shit, someone's freestyling, blah, blah, blah. And then I saw you again. I was like, man, this guy's dope, I gotta check him out.
Oh, you gotta do something? No, the camera. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, like I appreciate that, dude, because I mean, like, and I'm happy to meet you. As I said to you as I walked in here, this is a cool studio. This is really cool what you got going on here. Like, I invite people into my apartment, so you're one step ahead of me.
But it's still like, you know what I'm saying? You're doing it. Like you're doing.
You got to do it.
Like,
that's
right?
what, with everything. You got to do it. That's why I say those first 10 episodes that are trash, recording it through my phone. Whatever, like do that. But don't say you're going to start a podcast forever. Don't be the guy that says I am going to release a song and then always tell me you're going to release a song, because that is maddening. Just release the song. Like, I know people who have mixtapes, and it drives me crazy. I'm like, what? So if a tree falls in the woods and no one hears it fall, did it fall? If you are dropping a song on SoundCloud and no one heard it, did they know you dropped it? What if you never dropped the song?
100%, 100%.
So you just gotta start with everything.
Because at the beginning, when I was starting my own stuff, music wise and things like that, I would always be hesitant to release things. And I would just hold them. I've got like thousands of freestyles.
You're a perfectionist. Everybody's a perfectionist.
Exactly, and that's the problem too, right? Like, as like an artist, you want to be a perfectionist, but you have to realize that it's never gonna be perfect.
No,
and that's what makes it art. Like, those little breaths, those little those,
And that's why I think freestyle and comedy and all of that, like, there's a lesson to learn from that, because you have to ride in that moment. You have to be with that moment, and like, if you fuck it up, you just keep going. You can't stop and pause and go back. You just have to keep going, and there's something to learn.
Makes it more
that.
genuine. And it's just being in the moment, and then for the people who are in the room, being in that moment too. You're like, oh shit, he's coming up with some. Oh, and if you do like snap, like, oh wow, like, because they know it's in the moment type thing.
Yeah,
you could tell when someone like wrote some shit, and you could tell when it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, for real. Like, you can see when something, or at least when somebody's like, because a comedian, Aaron Chase, he asked me once, how, because he's usually doing comedy, so he asked, like, how, when you're doing a song that you've written and performed before over and over, how do you keep that in the moment and fresh? And my immediate thought was to insert my soul into the performance.
Exactly.
Because even if I've done the song before, it's like someone else is hearing the song for the first time.
Right.
I am feeling the song as if it was the first time. That's how I should be performing it, not as if I've done it a million times.
And that sort of proves what I'm saying about AI.
It can't do that.
It won't be able to do that.
But it'll be able to. The thing is, it might be able to emulate it so well, we can't tell the difference.
But then, like, I don't know. It goes back to, like, well, I used to have a dog, right? Like, I had him for 13 years, whatever, and something was wrong with him. So they're like, the only thing you could do is put him down, or just, whatever. But he's hurting right now.
Damn.
So I had to put him down, and I was in the room, and they injected him, and I'm looking right into his eyes as it's happening, and I saw the moment in time when he wasn't there anymore. Like, his body was there, he was still warm, his eyes were open, they still looked like, oh wait, but I knew he wasn't there anymore.
Right.
And I think that's how it's gonna be for when AI does things. You know what I'm saying?
Like a dead body?
Like a dead body, yeah. Like, the art is gonna look fucking amazing. It's gonna sound amazing, but just there's gonna be like a feel to it.
It's already like that.
Right.
It's already like that. I don't know, man. I wonder about that, because I think that way too. But then I think, like, what if, because we're thinking, like, you would have never predicted the internet. You would have never predicted, that's like what I was saying about technology and it being so exponential. Like, you could never predict what the world's going to be 5 or 10 years from now. You could have never done it 10 years ago, 5 years ago. You can't do it 20 years ago. So how could we do it now?
Right.
Like, I feel like we want to say that because we're so in touch with our humanity.
Right.
But
right.
I feel there's just no way that if this keeps happening the way it is, it won't just, even if it's bad like that and it is void of humanity, I think it's going to be like that for a while. And then at some point, maybe the switch will just flip. And then now all of a sudden, oh, damn.
But that's why it's so important to keep people in a lower frequency.
Yeah.
They don't want big thinkers anymore.
Oh, no.
They don't want people to make real art anymore.
They never wanted him in the first place.
But you know what I'm saying?
Shout out my boy Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, for real. But like it's easier to control people when they're in a lower frequency.
Absolutely. Right.
You know,
yeah, of course. I mean, I think so much stuff, dude. I mean, it's just so funny. I think more and more now you get more and more people thinking this way. If you live in a rural area, you're much more used to this type of mentality. But if you're somebody who's from a city, you don't get it as much. Like, most people don't believe most of the things they're told by whoever's in charge anywhere, especially if you're in like a poor community or a rural community.
Right.
You've learned to not trust those that are in charge. Why do you think poor people don't like cops? And that's most people. So then, like, you end up in an urban area, a city. You come somewhere like that, and then you see all this interconnectedness. And I think if you grow up in a city, you don't really witness all that. And so you kind of have a different perspective on things. But, like, I don't know. I think people are coming around. I think it's just so crazy how much stuff there is. How many times you can have your parents lie to you, and how many times your parents can literally, like, kill people in front of you. And then people still don't.
Well, I mean, I used to believe
maybe my
in Santa
parents
Claus.
lie.
And I used to believe in Santa Claus back in the day. But,
yeah.
you know,
And I just feel like believing so wholeheartedly in anything that you're being told, like if believing in the left or the right, or believing in one particular person, even like falling for something like that, like it's just, I feel like we should all be past that. We should just see that all these people are trying to take advantage of us, and we all need to like understand that before we can ever do anything. It's so easy to distract people.
I think
and
you're
like
right.
what you say about low frequency, like that's a
Right.
good point, because if I'm somebody who's in charge, and this is a theoretical exercise, and I don't think it's so nefarious, and there's people plotting behind the scenes, but I think it does play out like this because of money. So if I'm somebody in charge and I see all these people who will just buy my product or do whatever I say, if I frame it the right way, then maybe I'll just stick with that for a while because it seems to be working.
Well, sex sells.
That's why you need
right?
regulation.
Sex sells. Like, it's easier. It's like those ways of feeding that one low frequency.
Yeah.
You feed it, and it goes back to like what you said about the rural being and living from like a place like that. You're that open space and is that more nature that like it does something to you.
Well, you know, it reminds me of what I said earlier about like how we've gotten so far from nature just over time as people.
Yeah.
Because even the stars, even like you can see the stars in rural areas, but not like you could before, because that light pollution still bleeds over almost everywhere.
Yeah.
There's like a few places you can go where it's actually a beautiful. I think there's one place on top of a mountain somewhere. I wish I knew the name.
Hawaii,
and it's an
or
observatory where you can see the whole fuck. I think it is in Hawaii. I think you're right.
I've been wanting to go there.
That'd be so cool.
That'd be fucking dope.
It's got to be otherworldly, and which is crazy because
we used to see that.
everybody
all the
used
time.
to see that all the time. Yeah,
And
that used to be the night sky, and we just fucked it up.
Exactly.
And you can't even when you're in a rural area, you're looking up, you're like, wow, I can really see the stars, but you still can't. But you actually still can't.
But it's better than being in the city.
Absolutely. You can't see shit here.
Over here, you're like, oh shit, look at that star. It's a fucking drone. Fucking drones.
Right? You're just seeing drones and shit. And maybe the occasional UFO over the airport,
Yeah,
you know, who knows. But yeah, it's, I don't know, dude. I just feel like that type of stuff, it really does take you away from, and I think being in a city, you have a different way of living, and that is also probably, you don't, I don't know. It's so weird to me how cities just happen to always go one direction and then rural areas go another direction.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. And I feel like we should be past that, but we're not. I just don't
and
get
that's
it.
what I'm saying. We're at the cusp at the apex of fucking technology. We got all this shit available to us, and yet.
Because deep down, we're just monkeys. And I think that this is like a giant banana right here in our hands 24/7. The best banana we could ever have.
This is a brain banana.
A brain banana. That never, you can never stop eating the banana.
And then it keeps feeding that little feeling like, oh yeah, there goes that little chemical release in my head from seeing this post.
Yeah. And you know, now you got, I wonder where this is going to go with Mark Zuckerberg getting the whole lawsuit against him about you can't own everything. If you've seen anything about this,
no.
They said that because he bought Instagram, it's like he's monopolized the entire social media industry. And then Mark Zuckerberg's trying to make the argument, oh, well, I didn't monopolize the industry. Anybody can make a competitor to Instagram, which is such bullshit because they would just buy them, right?
Yeah,
that's the whole point. And so the question is Trump going to step in and say, oh, no, this is okay? I think that's what it was, is they were trying to get Trump involved somehow. I mean, obviously, Mark Zuckerberg has sucked up to Trump over the last 6 months to a year. Probably was anticipating.
I didn't know. I didn't know he owned Instagram, though.
Oh, yeah. That's why it's Meta. It's all under Meta now.
Oh.
It's been like that for a long time. I want to say since 2018, 2020 is when they got bought by... I want to say, and it's just kind of sad. It's kind of sad because Instagram used to be better, and then it started to be just like Facebook, where now it's all advertising, and it all feels pay to play in this weird way. It's not the same as it used to be. Kids these days
but the algorithms are fucking still good. They'll still get you.
They'll still get you. I do think the Instagram Reel algorithm is better than the TikTok algorithm. I will say that publicly. I will say that.
As a person posting or as a person watching?
As a distraction, like Instagram's
the answer's both.
As a way to just take me out of reality for 5 hours straight. Instagram is the one, yeah. Because like I'll post and then I'll be stuck there. But no, posting no. Actually, yeah. Posting maybe. Instagram's more about the people that you are friends with, whereas TikTok's more like or like your web of people that you've developed, I should say, and maybe the people you know people. But TikTok's more like finding new people. But TikTok's gotten worse and worse and worse and worse with the amount of exposure they give you. It's the story of all social media.
It's always algorithm stuff. Like it's so crazy.
And it's so far from art. Like when you start talking about algorithms and you start talking about, oh, like now you have to post X amount of times and you have to advertise your music this way. That shit just like, that is brain rot to me.
Yeah,
it's like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, I don't get me wrong. I like posting clips, but I still want to, I try to like everything I do with art, with anything, I'm trying to think, how could I put my own touch on this and do this my own way? I would never want to do like a trend just to fucking do a trend.
Right.
I would never want to be like a kid that just does dances that all the other kids do.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Not because I think that there's anything wrong with that. I just think it's not creative.
I mean, it is because, well, to me, it's like you have to stand out, like, and not necessarily to stand out. You just have to stand out because you shouldn't be fucking wanting to do everything, like that everyone's doing. Yeah. Because well, me as an artist, I'm saying, I'm speaking as an artist. Like I don't want to like go and copy the next person and like I'm gonna write their shit so I could become famous or whatever. I'm not. That's not what I'm in it for. I'm doing music because that's what I like doing. And like you said with the TikTok thing, it's like it's easier. It's way easier to just go do that little trending thing. And
oh yeah, I mean and they reward you for it.
Yeah,
they
do
reward you for doing it. That's why I think I said at the very beginning here, like we're in a place now where you do get rewarded for doing the same thing over and over. So social media incentivizes musicians to do that.
Keeping the low frequency.
Yes, yeah, and it is a low frequency thing. When you start doing the same, you become like, you ever heard the phrase flanderizing yourself, like a flanderized character? Or flanderizing yourself is something I made up, but to flanderize something means it's like in The Simpsons, how Ned Flanders over time became like a caricature of himself. At first, he was an actual character,
like he was that.
and then he becomes like a parody of the character that he used to be.
Right.
He's just like the classic example you can look at. But I think that happens to musicians. I think that happens to comedians. I think success makes you flanderize yourself because then you start looking at your greatest hits, and you're like, oh, how could I? What makes this crowd happy? Yeah, what does the crowd want from me? And then then you're Kevin Hart doing short jokes for the rest of your life.
Or like Hickory Dickory Dock.
Shout out Kevin Hart. We'll have him on Ruse Radio. I actually think his short jokes are hilarious. And also, like, he probably likes doing those short jokes. Every time he's standing next to a basketball player, he's probably thinking, I can't believe I'm here right now.
Anytime I'm standing next to a basketball, they're big as fuck.
Throw me. You know? If I was a short person, I would definitely do crazy. If I was like a little person, I would do some wild stuff. I would try to be on TV. I would ask people
shoot me from a cannon.
Yeah, I mean, like, go viral. My life would be so different. Like, okay, I don't know if this is like, I'm so happy with who I am, and I think everybody should be proud of who they are, and, you know, we all have our own pros and cons of being who we are and all this, okay? With all that being said, I sometimes wish I was like, dude, if I could just be a girl, I would be so much more popular as a rapper by now. If I was just a girl, if I had the same exact flow, the same exact everything, but I was a girl, I think my career would have taken off by now. There's like little things where I'm like, I feel like if I had no legs, if I was quadriplegic, like if I were to lose my legs, my career might take off. The silver linings, folks. Like I have these little thought experiments in my mind. Like, what would it take for me to just blow up? Maybe my legs gotta blow up.
I mean, do you believe in like fate and stuff like that, or do you believe?
I think things happen for a reason, or at the very least, it's better to think that way. It's better to think that things do happen for a reason because that is a better story to tell yourself. It means something. Everything means something then.
I think fate might be a thing, but it's also malleable.
What do you mean?
Your decisions.
What do you mean by that?
So let's say you have the fate you were supposed to get to, I don't know, let's say I'm supposed to get famous or something, right? And
so you can make like a million fuck-ups along the way, but you still get there. Because the decisions
but
along
then
the way
some
are
of
malleable?
those fuckers won't, it'll change that fate.
Oh, okay. So you can change your fate.
You
can change your fate. How do they say in Irish? Something about fate. I feel like I'm quoting Brave, the movie. I'm just quoting something from Disney. Continue.
But because if everything is already pre-written, pre-done, like, then what the fuck's the point of doing this?
Yeah, absolutely right. Well, so I think that it's one of those things where if we, with our advanced intelligence, are going to look at a creature that we consider less intelligent, like a bee. Say I have a bee, and I throw a bee. I think it's like 9 times out of 10, it's something like this, where like I can tell you exactly which direction the bee is going to go because the bee it's always going to do the same thing every single time. And there's a lot of animals like that. So like if that's the case, what if there was a more advanced intelligence that looked at us the same exact way, where we think we have all this agency, we think we know all this stuff, but from a grander perspective, all the choices we make are so predictable. Like, have you ever seen the movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise?
Right.
So, like, the whole thing with that movie is Tom Cruise, it says, spoiler alert for the next 60 seconds about that movie. The whole movie, the thing with the movie is, it says he's going to kill this guy. Yeah. And then at the end of the whole movie, you're thinking, well, how's he going to kill him? He's doing everything to prevent it, and then he kills him anyway. Right. And that's kind of, I think that's the idea with fate, is, yeah, you can do everything you want to try to prevent it, but it's just the way things are. And maybe even you're leading yourself to your fate by trying to prevent it without even realizing it. All these things you're doing to try to put up roadblocks and change things.
You believe in God?
I, again, would rather believe than not believe. I think there's a bunch of things at the very least that I've seen and experienced, or not experienced myself, but heard about. People connecting in ways that seem otherworldly, people knowing things they shouldn't know, all those things where it seems like there's got to be something more to or even the fact that, okay, so you take DMT, and then every time you take DMT, you have not the same experience, but a very similar experience where you break through, you go somewhere, there's some creatures, they tell you this thing that also you see all these like kaleidoscopic visions, and you meet these creatures that you feel like this place is more real than reality itself. It's like the dream is real. And then whatever these creatures are, whatever they are represented as the avatar in your brain, they come up to you, or maybe they're not even in your brain. Maybe you're just in another dimension. And they come up to you and they say to you, hey, and they tell you something, and it's like the most ultimate truth that you've ever heard in your life. And everybody, almost everyone who's done DMT says this happens.
Well, that's what I think. I think we sort of are a type of receptor, because our body creates energy. Our body creates electricity. Our heart creates electricity. Your heart could be off on a certain amount of watts, and you're fucked. And then our brain creates electricity while we think it has like a few volts, that you're using. So why not are we not receiving something, right?
And God would be like the signal?
Well, I mean, I would say
like we're all part
I
of
believe
God.
in God, but like I don't believe in like the religion type. I
think that's how most people feel.
I believe there is something bigger, because there are times where I'm like, whoa, how did this happen?
Yeah, right, yeah.
How?
Or even times when things seem to just line up in weird ways.
Yeah.
Like in your life, where it's like, oh, this happened at the exact time
and you're like,
it was
there's
supposed
no
to happen.
way.
It even makes me think like simulation theory. Like, it has to be a simulation. Like, the simulation is playing a trick on me right now.
Yeah, so with the simulation thing, right? So if it was a simulation, like, it would have to be the fucking craziest, most powered, the power to fucking be able to run a simulation, something like that, something this big for everyone to be in it, like the power that it would need to process like this reality that is so fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But like, think about it. If we were to invent a simulation that, like, if we were to invent AI that's sentient, right? If we can make that happen, we can make the simulation. It's almost like a simulation loop. Like, what if we're like a simulation in a simulation in a simulation in a simulation? Because like the AI is going to make its own AI, which is going to make its own AI. We could be like far down the line.
Let me ask you this though: are we the first generation,
I don't think so.
or are we already in generation 10?
We're probably way along the line. Yeah.
At some point, there had to be humans that created the simulation, or the species that created that simulation for us.
Yeah.
At some point, that had to happen. The
Big Bang. That's the Big Bang question right there. It's the same question.
That could be it.
It's like
maybe
at some point there had to be something that started everything.
Maybe the Big Bang is when our simulation started.
Yeah.
And that's why we can't go. Well, they can go beyond that, but they don't know what's beyond that. And it's all fucking hearsay, because no one really fucking knows. They just throw a random, it's 1.5 billion, whatever. We don't fucking know that.
No.
We don't know that. There's no way.
It's a balloon. Expanding.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because it's if it's infinite, then you don't know. You can't not know the age of infinity.
There's certain things though where it's like when Einstein predicted what a black hole is going to look like before we ever saw one. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. There's little things like that where just based on the knowledge we have, you can like figure so much out from just this small perspective. But also, you're right. We don't know so much.
But like, what you were saying earlier, right? You were saying that you like, I'm gonna throw the B and I know where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
And you like, maybe there's a power higher than us that knows where we're gonna go, right? So that's sort of like that quantum physics thing.
Yeah, right.
Where they shoot the proton through two slits, and they don't know where it landed until they look.
The double slit experiment, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So with that, it's like, I don't know. The attention that we have in our brain, right? The power that if this was a simulation, to me, this would be the craziest fucking thing for real. Like, cause I I know you feel it when you speak to someone and there's like an energy you feel from them, or even when you're in a room and you snap and like the crowd's going crazy and there's like the energy to simulate that is like it's crazy. And now but so that's why I'm like, are we the first generation like that? Because we've now got AI, right? We didn't when it was like 1970 and they were doing shows about the future. They didn't know what the internet was gonna be. Mm-hmm. They didn't know that we were gonna have fucking cell phones. So incrementally, how we got here, are we the first generation creating this? And then it does become a thing, simulation, and we go back to it. That's hard to know. And like we were saying, there's no fucking way they know this. They do not know how long this existence is. And if we weren't here as humans experiencing this, does this even exist?
Yeah, that's the ultimate question. It's like, does a tree fall in the woods again? I mean, that's what it is, It's if we're not here to experience it, does it exist at all? Yeah. And I mean, Zen philosophy and all that, like that's I think I think people think of science as a religion and they just take all these things too far. I think you need to stay in touch with just, being here right now in your own perception, right? Like being in your own moment for what that is. Because I think that's what Zen was saying 2,000 years ago, was like the thing about being a human, what gets us to where we are is that we're able to differentiate in this or that, and we're able to separate things.
Like, who am I?
But it takes us outside of that present moment, and it makes us overthink things. It makes us think in the future and think in the past. And like that's why I think if you look at a dog is so much closer to reality than a human. Yeah. Because they're not doing any of that. They're like walk.
They just like food and
their life is about what's happening right here, right now.
What you need. Like, well, that's what nature is. Like,
and that's what nature is.
That's how birds survive.
And that's what we are. We just don't realize it.
We just fucking started building walls and fucking...
Yeah. I think we're emotional creatures that think we're logical.
Right, but we're not. We don't really need any of this, to be honest.
Like, the truth is, we are way more emotional than we are logical.
We just made more problems for ourselves. With all this technology.
How much longer do we got here? I don't know how you normally do this.
But no, I was going to ask you about this song that you were going to do.
Let's do it, dude. Let's fucking do it. Let me finish off my coffee. Oh, I did. I got tiny little driblets.
Ooh.
Tiny little
drops.
Tiny little driblets
what was the song called?
This song is, I should say, right? Mr. Wholetime. It's out now on all streaming platforms. If you see me in person, I'll give you a business card, and you scan that code, everything pops up. You find me on Instagram, Ruse Official. Find me everywhere. Ruse Radio, again, best podcast of all time. No offense to any podcast that you like a lot, but just go listen to mine. I recommend listening to it for 20 hours, and then you can evaluate whether or not it's the best or not.
Oh, just 20 hours.
Yeah. And business cards, Mr. Wholetime. This song is one of my latest new songs. The song's fucking awesome, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. I wish I was wearing my Professional Mind Blower shirt. I forgot to bring it. I would have. I should have laid it out right here. Professional Mind Blower, folks, about to blow your minds.
Hey, check that out. He's about to drop this track real quick for y'all. Thank you so much for fucking coming through, man.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's been fun just like hanging out, talking, smoking. Yeah.
What is he talking about?
I mean,
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Sorry, Ossifer. All right.
Here we go.
Shout out Pro Tools.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Reaper man myself.
Nice.
If I had a fedora, I would tip it. More of a fedora man myself. More of a
it's
Reaper.
coming up sometime. Here we go. Here it is.
Yo. Hey, yeah. I think I'm really living. Figured that I'm alive. I think that I'm forgiven. I figured that I'm a tribe. I think that I'm a god. I know that I got proof. My footprints in the snow, the ceiling behind the roof. I done read the signs. Now I'm stuck in asylum. A cell of mine. I go looking for smoke and I get my skeleton fried. It's a cold world. There's a light in the sky. There's impossible odds. There's a pig that can fly. Well, listen to nothing. I know everyone's lying. Now tell me, cat, is you bluffing? Tell me, dog, what we doing? I know everyone does it. I don't think that I buy it. Now I'm tight with the budget. Got it down to a science. Got a hell of a stock. Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Mr. Wholetime, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth of the block. It's a balance in the character that's calm and collect. It's apparent his caricature gets lost in the mess. It's hysterical, the picture that they put to his face. It's a confidence administered, they earn their respect. Live a little, light a candle, what a scent to ascend. What a magical moment, what's a mean to an end. Stop adjusting your focus, start to try a new lens. Look a little bit further, but keep it close to the pen. I'm addicted to different, I gotta switch it some more. I don't know what to keep when I got my feet to the floor. I've been moving, I'm driven, I got a seat and a sword. How I cut through the noise, Ruse dash through the board. It's unbelievable, the world we're in, the whirlwind came through and told us that the world would end. It's inconceivable, the firmament crashing on the people. Where's a leader when you murder them? I got faith in the sea. There's an ocean of people and there's a Satan in me. There's a water that flow. There's a fate and it's free. Here's a bottle of hope. Drink it, wait and let's see. You feeling it yet? Real as it gets. You can take it or leave it, but no debris on the set. If you want it, you got it. I hope you keep what I kept. There's a jump that is vital. Hope you leap when I've left. It's Mr. Wholetime.
Damn. Yo, he just fucking snapped. Damn. Whew.
Ruse Radio, best podcast of all
Ruse
time.
Radio, man. Go check out his music videos too on YouTube. He got a bunch of music videos that are fucking dope as fuck too. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thanks for having me.
Like,
for real, man.
It's been fucking fun. You just fucking snap. Before we go, we're just gonna do a quick freestyle to end it. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
If you wanna just like drop something, and then I'll just finish it off when you're done. And
Hell yeah.
that's how we'll end it up.
Hell yeah.
All right.
You got that beat ready for me? That freestyle beat ready for me?
You want that one or you want?
Oh, whatever. I don't know. What are we freestyling on?
We could do that one because.
Oh, that other one's not a freestyle beat. The other one I sent you?
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you don't want to put some up on YouTube.
All right. I'll just put it up right here. So just some random one.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, cool. Hold on, I gotta unmute this shit. Here we go. All right, cool.
Yeah. I've been bopping, I've been hopping on it hip hop. I've been dropping, I can never ever stop. I'm a Kit Kat, you get flop, you get cracked, you get rocked. I got a sick sock. I've been jerking off and you're a fucking jerk. I'ma throw you in the coffin. I spit these bars, I kill this shit often. This the type of shit I get lost in. This the type of shit that it costed. Yo, I think you's retarded. How you tryna rap like this? I think you farted. You shit sound like shit. My shit is legit. My shit is on top. All my shits is hits. My shit cannot stop, cause my shit's not stop. My shit is not pop. My shit is fucking rock, not System of a Down. Nah, I'm not fucking around. I got sound. I'm not from your town. I'm from down under, yo, the underground. Wow, yo, so profound when I'm coming around. Yo, pow. I'll be punching bitches in the face. When I say bitches, I mean men. Don't get it straight, don't get it twisted, don't get it stupid. Let's get it poppin'. I do this all the time like I ain't even got options. I only do this, I only rap, I only do podcasts. I only do the stuff that you see me do on a camera. I have no life outside of this. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry, Uncle Tom. I'm sorry, all of y'all. But I am the bomb.
Damn. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Check it. That was dope. Yeah. Alright. Come on. Yeah. Hey yo, the alien just landed. But I'm here in peace, so please don't panic. Yeah. You know that we're so electrifying, we just burnt the fuse. Mine right now chillin' with Ruse. You know what I'm saying, yo, what to do. We about to fucking come through from the west side all the way to the loop. all the way to the fucking loop. It's a choose your own adventure. I'ma do this shit till I fucking wear diapers or dentures. I don't know, but yo, let's fucking do it, bro. We doing this straight in Chicago, cause we're from the win. And you know that we about to win. Yo, thank you for coming fucking through. And thank y'all for fucking tuning in. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Thank y'all so much, man.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Shot ill. Let's go. Yeah. P.O.T Podcast. Yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in, man.
We in the P.O.T. like it's the place to be.
Yeah. Hey.
Place to be.
But yeah, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for being here.
You just got a backup intro right there. That's your backup intro now.
Check him out. Check Ruse Radio. You probably already following him. Check out the YouTube spot. Where could they find you on Spotify?
Oh, yeah, so Spotify, it's all Ruse. If you type in, especially that song I just showed you, type in Ruse, Mr. Wholetime, it'll pop up real quick. I don't know how I am with the Spotify SEO, if I pop up right away just yet or not. But yeah, Ruse, Mr. Wholetime, if you're trying to find me real easy. YouTube, Ruse Radio. I have 2 channels, Ruse Radio, also Ruse Official on YouTube. Ruse Official is all the music stuff. Ruse Radio is everything else. But really, if you're trying to find all my stuff, if you just find me on Instagram, if you've got that, even in the YouTube descriptions of my videos, you can easily find my link tree, and that's got everything. Everywhere I'm at, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm at your mom's house, I'm on Reddit, I'm on, I think, what is another random one I'm on? I'm on Letterboxd. You can see how I rate movies.
I don't even know what that is.
So yeah, I try to be ubiquitous.
He's also on the Roast Battle. Check those out.
Oh, every time they're at Zanies. So every single time Roast Battle comes to Zanies, I will be there roasting everyone.
Yeah.
No comedian is safe from Ruse. You heard the previews earlier. You heard what type of shit I'm talking. I literally just get to call people fat. That's what they're letting me do. So if you want to see that happen in rap form, it really is an awesome time. Like I highly recommend Roast Battle Chicago. They're doing something similar to what you and I are doing with the podcast, where you're putting people on and you're using your platform to kind of lift people up. That's a good feeling, and I think that Roast Battle's doing that with the comedy community in Chicago. Right. And the comedy community in Chicago really needs more stuff like that, stuff to lift it up and kind of like make it shine. So Roast Battle's awesome. I'm super happy to be a part of it. Roast Battle Chicago, part of Roast Battle League, which is the bigger legion, pioneered, created, started by the one and only Jeff Ross you mentioned earlier. Yep. He's the one who really made
Brian
it a
Moses
thing.
And
yeah. You know all the dudes. Yeah. So so yeah, it's just an awesome thing to be a part of, because I really do support it and I really like what they're doing. And yeah, I'm super excited to be tearing everyone apart. With all that being said, I'm super excited to destroy the entire event. And you can catch me there every single time they're at Zanies in Chicago, also a legendary comedy venue. So Zanies is awesome. You gotta check it out at least once.
Go check it out, man.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for coming through, man. It was fun.